break here. It has to stop at 10. Need not to go for 30 and 80 at all. When you write an algorithm, there are certain mistakes that you do. What? The kind of loop that you put. Now take this. First, what do you do when you write an algorithm? You will first read the elements. Read the elements ka matlab, what does it mean? From 23 to 80, you will first understand whether all the elements are there or not. Over, read the element is done. Now, for I is equal to 1 to 7, you said. Why I is equal to 1 to 7? Because you have to search. You do not know where the element is. It can be from 1 to 7. For now, you got it at 10 because you're able to see it. What if you're not able to see it? You need to travel from 1 to 7. Next, if A of I is double equal to the element, what is I here? 1. Next time it will become 2. That is A of 1. That means it is A of 1, 23. Then it will see if this A of I is equal to this element or not. If it is equal, then you will say item is found. Else, item is not found. If it is not equal, then you will say item is not found. Till here, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfectly clear. Any doubt? Any doubt, anybody? Clear. Very good. Triple E girls, are you understanding? And EC girls, are you understanding? No problem, right? Okay. All right. Now, so here what has happened? Now the mistake what happens is, with this algorithm, see where the mistake happens. If A of I is double equal to element, when you said, here it was not equal, right? At the first instant, look at this instant. What happened? If A of I is equal, then you have to print item found. If not, you have to print item not found. So at this stage, what will happen? Since this became false, because 23 was not equal to 10, because here you had 23 and here you had 10. So this if has become false. This has become false. So immediately it has to go to the else. So what it will print? Item not found. So what it will do? Here it will print item not found. Again here it will print item not found. Here again it will print item not found. Here it will print item not found. Here it will print item is found. This is the first mistake. Understanding with what is the mistake with the algorithm? Every time, for every check, here since it became wrong, it says item not found. Again, when I gets incremented, I becomes 2. A of 2. If the number is not equal to 10, again it goes to the else. It gives item not found. Like that, it will continuously give item not found till it reaches 10. Apart from that, since we are getting it incremented till 7, even if it is equal, item is found. That is, it got, when it was 10 here, at A of 5 position, it was 10 here, right? Even if it was here, it will print item found. Still the loop continues because you did not stop it. You did not break it here anywhere. You did not break. If you write break here, ma'am, write one break here. If you write break here, when it was 23 and it is not equal, immediately it will not go here. It will come here and it will print this off. Right? Either you have to write a break here or you have to make another way. If not, what it will do? The answer will be like this. Your output will be like this. Item not found, item not found, item not found, item not found, item found. Again here item not found, here item not found, because this for loop is going to continue till it reaches 7. Understanding it, not understanding it? Clear or not, guys?
Clear, ma'am.
Clear? Good. Now, so what is the perfect way of giving an algorithm? How to write this algorithm is, first what you will do, you will maintain one variable and you will assign it to 0. You're calling it as flag. Ma'am, should it always be named as flag? Need not to be named so. You can name it as ever you want. You can give your own name and assign it to 0. No problem. Okay. Then this remaining thing you're saying for I is equal to 1 to 7. This is same like before. Here same whatever you did. Here also same. Condition if A of I is double equal to element, same as here, same here as well. Location of I, because in this place you were not able to locate. Here what it said, when it a of I was 10, when you got 10 is equal to 10, it just printed item found, but it did not say at which location is that item. Is it which position is that item? It did not say. So we want that also to be known. So first what we are saying, if element is found, shift that location. I mean take that location into a variable called LOC. Understanding it? You're making that I value, whatever it is. That means if when it was 5 here, A of 5, when I became 5, the element was equal to 10. So that 5 is stored in location. So here LOC is equal to, the location is equal to, bear with me the way I'm writing because I can't use this better than this. Here it is 5. Done. Immediately what you wanted to do, this 0 flag which you had, you wanted to shift to 1 because you wanted to break. So break how? On certain condition. Therefore you're changing this condition to 1. Why, ma'am? Why should I write this? Directly I can write break. No, why should I write this flag 1? You will get to know that slowly. Okay. So you're breaking it. If it is not happening, then ma'am, where is else? Okay, fine. If it is not happening, what will happen? This loop gets exited if A of 1 was not equal to element. Okay, if you did not get your element, what will happen? It will exit this if loop. And where it will go? It will again go back to 4. 4 gets incremented. Again it comes. It checks. If it is found, it is okay. It is not found. Again it exits. Again it goes back. Rather than going to else, we are breaking it in this manner. Okay. You can do it in any way. I'm not saying this is the fixed way. I'm saying one way of doing it is this without a mistake. Okay. Now, question is, why did you change this flag to 1 from 0 to 1? Here, in order to print it, because here if I write print statement, also can be written. Here you can directly write print statement, but the iterations are continuing. Consistent, it's continuing. Therefore, I'm keeping it separately. Here I'm saying if flag is 0, then print item not found. As long it is 0, that means the item did not come. When it will that flag change? When the item is found and the program gets broken here. That means if this is false, if the flag is not 0, automatically it goes to else and it says item found. Understanding it or not? When it says item found, you can add up 2 more statements here. Print item found, and whom should you print? Print the location. Why? The location is saying at which location it is found the element. So you'll say print location, whatever the location. What is there in the location? The value of this place, that is I value is there. Clear? Any doubt,
Yes,
any re-explanation needed, please let me know. Perfectly clear? All right, now let us know how to calculate the complexity. How do we calculate this complexities? It's very simple. Look at this now. I told you that complexities goes in 3 phases. 1, best case, worst case, average case. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? You know now what is complexity. It is to check how good is your algorithm, what is the behavior, what is the performance. All these things you got to know. Now you wanted to calculate the best, the worst, and the average case. Best case, assume that 10 was here only. Directly 10 was here. Your search element was 10, and you got the first search element at the first position itself. Firstly, understand complexities are represented with this letter O. O. It is not 0, it is O. Remember, it is called big O. In the asymptotic notations, you would represent it with the letter big O. That is capital O. It is not 0 at all. It is O. So the best case is if your element is found at the very first place, that is like this, then the best case would be big O of 1. It is nothing but O of 1. First place only you got. In the worst case, what is the worst case? Don't know. You keep on searching till where will you search? From the first position to the 7th position. That means if there are more elements here, many elements are still there, 8, 9, 10, it's there. Till nth element you will keep searching like this. This way only you will be continuing. All this way you will be continuing. Yes or no? So till what place you will continue this way? Till nth place. So what is the order of Worst case
N.
scenario, order of n, O of n. Okay. Average case, okay, might not be best, might not be worst. Average case, somewhere you are finding this element in the middle. You're in middle, like how you found 10 here. You found it somewhere in middle, not at the starting, not at the end. You found it here. Okay. So when you are finding it at n, so average case will be order of n by 2. Right? But still you call it as O of n. Why are you calling it as O of n? What is the degree of polynomial here? It is n. Always consider highest degree. That means what in case, ma'am, I had like this n into n by 2. If this was there, if it was like n into n by 2, then what would be my big O notation? It would be order of n square. It would be order of n square. How order of n square? N into n becomes n square, no? So it will no more be n, it will be n square. Understanding it or not? For now,
Yes,
since
ma'am.
it is n here, I'm representing as n. So the worst case and the average case is order of n. The best case is order of 1. Clear with it?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfectly clear. Any doubt? Hoping that there is no doubt, I'm going ahead. I prefer to go ahead, hoping that you guys have no other doubts. Okay. I suppose only Saumya, Preeti, Sadhya, Srija, Aparna, Aisha, Harshita, Navata, Monica. Only these people are there. Out of 69, this set of people are only listening. Anyways, I'll continue. Now let us go to binary search. Now, what was the problem with the linear search? For now, when there were 7 elements, we were able to search. What in case this elements keeps on increasing? There are 1000 elements here or 100 elements. Let me assume that there are 100 elements. For 100 elements, one element till it search, the time complexity is very high. Understanding it or not? Why am I saying the time complexity is high? Yes. So for 100 elements below, to till end 100 elements are compared, you have to sit and wait. If your element is not at all there in that 100, pure 100 elements, you did not find your element only. That much of time you have wasted searching it. So the time complexity is very high. That is one big problem with linear search. So in order to improvise this, you go to another technique called binary search. Okay. Now what does this binary search do? If there are some set of elements, first, the main rule of a binary search says that whatever list that you take, it has to be in a sorted order. Sorted order means from smaller to bigger or bigger to smaller, preferably from smaller to bigger. Understanding it or not? In the previous linear search case, it was not in sorted order. 23, 40, 50, 60, 10, small number is here. 30, again small number, again 80. So it is not in sorted order. But when you are doing binary search, if you are selecting binary search as your technique, the rule is it has to be in a sorted order. Clear? So first you have to sort your elements. How do you do it in a sorted order? You have sorting techniques for it. So you will first implement any of the sorting techniques and then perform your binary search. Okay. Now, when you are now assume that I took this set of elements which are already in sorted, which I kept it in sorted order. I will this is from 1 to 16. It has to be from 0 to 15. I understand, but for easy representation I'm calling 1 to 16. Okay. Now what you have to do in a binary search, whatever the elements are there, you have to find out the middle position of this complete array. What is an array here? Can anybody answer what is an array here? Guys, what is an array here? What is an array? It is a data structure, simple. It's a data structure used to implement binary search technique. That's the reason why you're using an array here. Should I only use an array? You can use others also. But here it gets tedious to use others. I'll tell you the reason why a bit later. First look at this. So whatever you're using here, the elements that you're using here, first you have to see the middle element. You have to make hold of the middle element first. So how do you make hold of the middle element? You will take the first position plus the last position divided by 2. So here you got the answer as like 1 plus 16 divided it by 2. It was 17 by 2. It became 8.5. You round it off to 8 rather than 9 because integers always takes the first element removing the 0.5 other thing. Okay, after point it will not consider anything. So it will catch up only the first one because you are writing it is with an integer. Clear here? Why 8? Why not 9? It can be 9 also, no? It can be 9 also. But since you're using int, it will not consider values after the decimal point. It will take the first value, therefore it became 8. So now your middle element is somewhere here, that is 19. Okay. Now you will ask the element to be searched. So assume that the element that you would like to search is 45. Okay, you wanted to search an element 45. First, what you will do, you will compare the element to be searched with the middle element. You will first directly go here rather than searching anywhere here. You will not waste your time. Like in the previous case in linear search, you were wasting your time comparing 45 with 4, 45 with 6, 45 with 9, 45 with 10, then 12, then 15, then 16. All these things you used to do. Now what you will do, you will not do all this heck. Directly you will compare that 45 with the middle element. Clear? If the element is found, had it been 45 is here directly, your algorithm is done, your binary search is done, your result is out. If it is not, then you will compare, is that 45 greater than this number or less than this number? If it is greater than this number, immediately the searching technique starts this side. If the element that you would like to search is less than the number, then it will go at the left side. Understanding it? So first, what did you do? You did a divide and conquer method. You divided first. This is the divide part. Yes, you have divided the entire array into 2 parts. Divided, conquer. Now what are you conquering? You are trying to implement your rules on the leftover parts. So the first case, what you will do? You will compare the element to be searched with the middle element. If the middle element is same to your search element, your searching technique is done. If the middle element is not same, you will compare, is it bigger to that element or smaller? If it is bigger, you will go to the right side. If it is smaller, you go to the left side. Now what do you find? That 45 is greater than 19. So where do you have to implement your searching technique? You have to implement it this part. How do you implement here? Same way. Now you will consider this part of the array. This is your main array again. Okay, you will discard this left array. You will not even look at this. This array is no more existing for you. Only this part is existing. Understanding it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes,
now
ma'am.
this, good. Now this becomes your main array because you have to search here. Same way, again, from this position to this position, you will calculate the middle level element. You will fix the middle element. Assume that this is your middle element, this or either this or this. So let us see which is going to be your middle element. I've solved it here. So what do you do? So you have discarded the left side completely. So from the 9th position to the 16th position, you're considering. So this is your main element now. Main array. You go again calculated the middle element. So 35 here. You will compare whether your element to be searched is equal to 35. If it is equal to 35, your search ends. It's not equal to 35. You compare, is it bigger or smaller than this 35? If it is bigger, you go to this part, discarding the left. So since your search element was 45, definitely it is bigger than 35. So your array concentration is here. You will discard this array completely, this left side. So now what is your main array to be searched? This part. So 40, 45, 50, 55. Again, what do you'll do? You'll again do the middle. How do you calculate the middle? You already know it this way. Taking the positions. So you calculated the middle. You found out that the middle element is here. Okay, this is considered to be the middle element. You'll compare. You want your search element was 45. Okay, is it equal to this? Yes, it is. Your program ends here. Your this thing and your algorithm ends here. So you will say the item is found at location 14. Is it clear or not?
Clear, ma'am.
No doubt? Doubt, no doubt. Good. Hopefully, Triple students, again, I'm repeatedly asking you, Ma, because probably you might have not studied data structures. So I'm no doubt, I want Triple students to answer, and EC students at least somewhere or the other, they might have come across. But for Triple, I don't want it to be difficult for them. CSE people, I don't think so. You should have any doubt. It's okay. Now, till here it is over. Let us see how algorithm is to be written. Now our concentration is on algorithm writing. Now understand, when you did this, first initially when you did this, you calculated middle element, then you searched, the algorithm was the same or did it change? From here to here, is it same or change? Only the element positions have changed, but the algorithm remained the same or not? Yes or no? The way it was the same, it was nothing different. Again finding middle, again left, discarding the left, the certain parts, again you found the middle, discarded where you did not have, again found the middle, again divided it. So this is how you did. What did you do? One algorithm, when you write one line recursively, you're doing it. That is nothing but you're using the concept of recursion. Why do you use recursion? Recursion is, rather than writing the same code n number of times, 10 times, rather than writing, one time only you will write and you will call that same function on and on and on. Again, you're going and calling that. Simple like, it is same like, you are having an egg tray. It's a if the egg tray is a plastic tray, you know what an egg tray is, no? If your egg tray is a plastic tray, it is a recursive utility. Your eggs are dumped wherever you want. Again, the tray is used. You're not making new tray. But you have this in supermarkets, you get this paper wala tray. Made with paper, cardboard type. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it recursive?
No, it's not.
It is not. It is discarded. The one use, discarded. Again, you want it, you have to make fresh one. You have to make new ones. Understood what is recursion? Make once, use n number of times. It's nothing but recursion. The egg tray is a recursive function. You put data into it. Once you remove that data, again use that function. That is the tray. Again use the function. That is the tray. In the second case, also is an egg tray only. No doubt in it. It is also an egg tray. It also took data. That is your supermarket wala trays, the cardboard wala. It is also a data. It is taking eggs into it. It is also a function, but it is non-recursive. Okay? Which is better? Using recursive is better or non-recursive is better? If you
Non-recursive. Non-recursive.
Yes, everybody has their own answer. Very good. Both are correct. If you look at the economical part, then you will say better use recursive. If you use at the non-economic part, you want it to be eco-friendly part rather than becoming economical, then you will say let us go with non-recursive. Right or not? Both are right. But when it comes into programming, if you use non-recursive way, the number of times you need to write that code is many a times for the same job. Same for 6 you're making new tray again constantly with the cardboard one. Yes or no? But if you in a program, I'm talking in the aspect of program. In aspect of program, if you do not, it will take number of lines of code will increase. If you do not want that much of increase, better use the recursive way. Keep calling that tray only consistently back to back. That is the recursive way. So binary search, should it be written in recursive or non-recursive? Choice is yours. It is not a thumb rule that you should use. But recursive ways, in less number of time, let the array be as big as it want, it will start working. Understood? Now let us understand this recursive algorithm of binary search. I'm showing the recursive, non-recursive also can be done, not a rule that it has to be recursive only. Okay? Understood what is recursion? What is this recursion? Triple people, hope you understood. AC people, hope you understood. Yes, very good. Good. So till here, you understood what is recursion. You understood how binary search is working. Now let us understand the algorithm. Not very tough, very easy. I'll show you in a very easy way. See. First, binary search is one first function. आपको इसका search करना है. You have to do a search. So this is your initial elements that you have. I'm going back, coming friend. Bear with me just to make it very clear for you. Initially, this entire thing was there, no? From 1 to 16, you should take all these elements. You have to read all these elements. Therefore, what all you need to have? You need to have the beginning. You need to have the end. You need to take which item you wanted to search. 3 things you wanted to know. So come back to your algorithm here. So first, you need to have an array. You need to have the beginning of that array, end of the array, and which item you want to search, that should be there. These are the main elements that goes into your binary search. Done? Step 1. You have to check whether the beginning is greater than end. That means if the beginning element is greater than the end element, that means the array is unsorted. Understanding it or not? Yes or no? The beginning element should be less than the end element. यानी कि आपको sorted रहना. That means if it is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, beginning would be 4, end would be 10. The beginning, the 4 should be less than that 10. Only then this algorithm works. Had it been if it was 14 and the last element was 10, can we use this algorithm?
No.
No. So the beginning should be less than end. If in case beginning is greater than end, if in case beginning is greater than end, then you have to exit it, because unless and until you do not sort, you cannot start your binary search technique. Okay. Now, if in case this is not the case, this is if the beginning was less than end, then you can go to step 2. What do you do in step 2? You will first calculate the middle element. How do you calculate the middle? Beginning plus end divided by 2. This you people understood. Now after doing that mid calculation, immediately what you will do? You will compare the item with your middle element. If the item is equal to the middle element, immediately what you will do? You will say the item is found at the location you will say, and you will exit off. If it is not, what do? You'll compare that element that you wanted to search with the middle. If it is less than the middle element, you have to go to the left side of your array. So, or if it is greater, you have to go to the right side of the array. If it is less, again you will call the same binary search function. Why? Same technique. What you did this way, this till here, same has to be done for the left side of the array, no? Or right side of the array. Same thing you have to do, no new change. So this part has to be called again. So you're calling this function again, recursion. Understanding it or not? This was a function here with the parameters, item, beginning array, item, beginning, end. Same thing again, function. You again the new array, that is the left part of the array. If it was less than the item, array, item, begin. End is what? Middle minus 1. Means what? If I take back this array, assume that I wanted to search 9. So I will compare first with 19. It is less, it is not same. So I have to go back to this part. Right? From where do I start searching? From here to here only. Do I have to search this middle again? Not required. So here I have to stop. So how do I stop here? This will be my middle part, beginning part. Now what is my end? This is my end part. What is my end part? This middle minus 1. Now if next case, if my element was greater than 19, then where will it start from? Middle plus 1 to end. Understanding it or not? Or do you want me to repeat it? Please let me know. Understood, not understood, or do you want me to repeat? Clear? Very good. Very good. So, what did I represent? If it is less than the middle element, array should be taken, the item to be searched should be taken, the beginning should be taken till end. In place of end, I am going to take middle minus 1. Else, again call the same function, because if it was in the right side, same way, this all works in the same way only. Again, array should be taken, the search element should be taken. Rather than go from starting from begin, you will go from middle plus 1. And end will be considered. Done. Same thing goes back. Searching elements, the way of searching would be the same as it was here. It goes on and you exit the loop. Clear? No, not. Now, how do you calculate the complexities? Best case, worst case again. Okay. So let us consider this way. If item found at the middle position, directly your item, the moment you found out the middle, immediately found the element. So directly the number of comparisons are only 1. So what is the complexity? Of 1. Right? You did not assume that your worst case, that element is not equal to the middle element. Now what will happen? You will again divide first comparison, it was not equal. You will divide your entire array into 2 parts. That is, if there are n elements, it got divided into 2 parts. The first case, it became n by 2. Still you did not find, like in this case. Take this case. First, what did you do? N element, you found with the middle element. Here the complexity would have been, best case, order of 1 if it was same here. Since it is not, what will happen now? You have to divide this entire array into 2 parts. That is, this n elements got divided into 2 parts. 1 part here, 1 part here, n by 2. So when it became n by 2, this was your new list. When this also, here also did not find with the middle element. Again you divided, it became n by n, already n by 2, still n by 2 by 2. That means it is n by 4. Understanding it or not? It would have been, iska fir se half karte na. It is nothing but n by 2 by 2, that is n by 4. That means you can write it as n by 2 power 2. Right? Like that, if your array is quite big and you're dividing, it becomes n by 2 power k. Till here it is clear. This n by 2 power k, if I represent n by 2 power k equal to 1, bear with me the way I'm writing. I do not know how to use this, so I'm just trying it off. So it becomes n is equal to 1 into 2 power k, so n is equal to 2 power k, only k I want. It becomes log of n base 2. So the time complexity is O of log of n base 2, or you can call it as O of log n. Understood or not how to calculate this complex? So if somebody asks you what is the complexity of binary search, then you will say it is O of log n, because you will concentrate on the worst case. Best case, anytime you will get to know the answer, but you have to more concentrate on the worst case. Like I told you the example of the packers and movers. If he says 4 hours, you will not fix for 4 hours. You will consider the worst case. If not 4 hours, today's 7 hours I have to dedicate for this packers. Kyunki gadbad ho sakta. The traffic might be there, whatever is there. Let me not assume 4 hours. I will take 3 more hours extra. Better I will say the worst case only. So here also you will consider the worst case. So when somebody asks you what is the binary search complexity, or what is the complexity of binary search technique, then you will say order of log n, or O of O of log n. Is that clear, everybody?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Perfectly clear. Any doubt how to calculate complexities and all? Okay, it's clear. Great. Okay, now what is the disadvantage of it? First disadvantage, binary search cannot be implemented if the array is unsorted. Already one disadvantage is known. What is the other disadvantage? Since your concentrating on this middle element. How is the middle being calculated? On the index positions of the array. So if you have to understand the index position, you have, for using binary search, you need to compulsory use array data structures only. You cannot use linked list. Why can't you use linked list? Linked list is not a continuous positions. But if binary search has to work, it should have continuous positions. Therefore, only it can be used on arrays. Disadvantage number 2. First disadvantage is what? It should always be sorted. If it is not sorted, your binary search will not at all work. Second disadvantage, it cannot be implemented on other data structures. It has to use only array. Third disadvantage of binary search, it has to work only on static elements. यानी कि अगर linear search में, again I'm repeating, I'm going back to linear search. In linear search, there were 7 elements. If slowly you are adding elements, 8th element, 9th element, 10th element, that linear search would have worked. Just its work is to do what? Compare till it reaches its own its required element. So if you keep on adding back to back, you're throwing one element, also it will search. But binary search, since you're calculating that middle from first to end, fixed रहना, it has to be fixed. If not, it will not be able to calculate. Understanding it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfectly clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now this is your searching techniques. Searching technique algorithm clear? What is
Yes,
the
ma'am.
what is the complexity of a binary search?
O log n.
O log n.
Very good. O of log n. What is the complexity of a linear search?
O
O
n.
n.
Order of n. Very good. O of n. Now you know why is it O of log n? Why is binary search O of log n? Why is linear search order of n, O of n? That you know, right?
Yes,
Oh
ma'am.
yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Good. This is very important. This is what they will ask you in your technical skill. This thing. I mean, in your technical part of your interviews. Complexities is what they ask. Advantages, disadvantages. They will put a question. Can binary search be used on a dynamic set of elements? Can it be used?
No.
No, it has to be fixed elements before itself. You can't keep it dynamic. आप add करते गए. If you are keep on adding elements to your array, binary search will not work. Why? It has to calculate the middle. No, unless it doesn't know the first till the end, it will not be able to calculate. If you keep on adding, wherever it will know the end, it will not know the end. Therefore, it will not work there. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Done. Now let us get into sorting techniques. So I prefer to take the sorting techniques tomorrow. Probably this week I might only occupy. So sorting techniques, it will go a bit faster. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. So I'll Chandrika ma'am, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Probably I wish to end up here, ma'am. I'll take tomorrow's class.
Okay, ma'am. Sure, ma'am.
Okay. Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.